All right, Sameer. So this section is about leadership. Now, you having been a leader yourself, you are a leader currently, having implemented such large-scale projects, having handled large teams, right? We of course know that you come with a lot of experience, and we'd like to grab that from you for this section. Tell us, what is the most difficult part of being a leader?
The word, the leader, okay, is something which is, walking on a sword.
Okay.
Because when you become a leader, everybody is looking at you,
Right.
okay, and you have to ensure that the path which you have taken, what you go through, is in the right direction. Okay, so difficult to be a leader, but at the same time, it's no big deal. Okay.
Okay.
I will maybe later part I'll explain that thing.
Sure.
But yes, being leader it's a difficult task because everyone is looking at you. What are your action is going to have a larger impact. Okay, may it be a financial impact, may it be a within the organization, in person.
Right.
Okay.
Probably on the team.
Yeah. So that is very crucial.
True.
Job, would you say, being a leader?
Okay. What is that one mistake you witness leaders making more frequently than others?
See, when you become a leader, when you go into that role, it is there are two ways, two side to it. One is the business side of it. One is your team.
Right.
One is your operations. So you have to have a balance between them. Like you are the person, like you have your managers above you, you have your team below you, right? And at times people have seen that they have a more inclination towards the managers, they forget the team below.
Right.
Okay. Or I've seen that people who are more with the team, then they forget the managers part. Right. So the balance between those two, which is something which is,
and that's a very thin line.
Very thin line.
You can't be on this side or this side, but you have to balance it.
Balance it out.
So I think that's where the walking on the sword part comes in.
Yes.
Very aptly put. Right. If I had to ask you, how do you encourage creative thinking within your team or within your organization?
Okay. So I always believed in that every individual is intelligent. Every individual have their own set of skills which is there. Everybody is doing that particular particular activity as meticulously, or they know things basically. As I give you an example that as I told you, my very first job, I only knew that disk operating system, nothing else than that.
Right.
Today, the engineer or the person who joins in my team, he is quite knowledgeable, maybe more on terms of theoretically, he is aware of what is IP address, what are the subsegment, how the network works, how the application works, how do you manage the informations, what is information security, all these things they are aware of it. Okay, and I always look at them that what is the good quality of that person and how do I bring it out?
Okay. So that's one of the key areas.
One of the key areas which I work upon. So I give them the not you can say free hand, but I give them the leverage that they can do things, but you have to ensure that it doesn't go into a different direction where it impacts the entire division.
True.
Okay, you are free to give ideas, you are free to do things, but you have to ensure that these are the key factors where you shouldn't do this.
Right.
So that as a manager or as a leader, I always ensure that they have been aware of that. You shouldn't be going this side. Like for the child, when you know that you shouldn't be going to near the staircase, you may fall down, right? But we don't stop them, right? They have to learn how to go down or go up, right? Similarly, I also ensure that your act will going to be a problem for us. Do it in this terms. You are free to do it. there are set of rules which are the part of the given set of job, but you have to give them the liberty to explore them potentials.
True, true. So you believe in that. Give them the playground to play, and you're there, of course.
Yeah,
to
because
not let
everybody
them-
comes with the different ideas,
It's true.
and I adopt to their ideas. So it boosts their morale in terms of that I've been given the importance to it. My manager is looking at me as a source of information. He adopts my ideas, okay, and in terms I get more ideas.
True.
I get the output, better output.
Better. In fact, I totally agree with you. Okay. So, Samir, what advice would you give somebody going into a leadership position?
Okay. When I became a manager, as a experience grew and different companies. So my reporting, whom I was reporting as the head of the department, he gave me a book. Okay. Book in terms of it was talking about how do you manage the information and what are the as a manager you should look at it. Though I did not read the entire book, but then some of the point which it clicked me, and I have taken into my day-to-day activity, right? So whenever I tell my person or my engineer who is growing to the next level or to become a manager or team leader, okay, I tell them that you have to identify the information which is required.
Right.
Okay. So the information has as a pyramid. Okay. As you go up in the pyramid, okay, information becomes less, okay, but it becomes crisp.
Right.
Okay. So moment you give them the example of that, I don't go and give my Excel sheet to my boss, okay, or my CEO.
Right.
Okay. What I give them is a presentation, a PPT, which is a one-liner. Okay, but at the same time, when I have the same information which I have to percolate to my down level,
Right.
okay, I have to explain them every part of it. So my information which is getting percolated has to be more specific to the task, specific to the requirement. So you should know what information should be shared with the senior management, what information should be shared with with your team, and that information, how that information going to help them, right? Ultimately that same information is going to go into a senior management. Information remains the same, the task remains the same, but how you are going to
Talk or present
it. It is this thing. So the moment you put in the report, your immediate reporting manager is not going to look at the 10,000 calls which you made.
Right.
But he's going to look at the 10,000 calls, whatever the calls which you are getting,
Right.
and when you got the call, what was the time frame which is, what was the average caller time of answering call.
True.
So various things which will come into picture on that.
True.
Right.
I think the perspective changes at
Purpose
each level.
changes from them. So they have to start thinking in terms of differently.
Different.
Today you are there in a low role, and tomorrow you are going to be in a manager role. So
Right.
how that's going to happen?
Right. Absolutely. Well, that's wonderful advice, Samir, on the leadership front. Now, we'd like to know you as a person, right? So, from different perspectives again. So, we have the next rapid fire round. We're looking at quick answers, short answers, fast answers.
Okay.
One thing you love about your job.
Challenges.
Okay. Your favorite destination you'd want to travel to.
Antarctica.
Okay. Interesting. Favorite food.
Sweets. So any sort of sweets.
Okay. A book that inspired you the most.
The Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Influence people. True. True. What was your very first salary?
750 rupees.
Okay, that was a big sum back then.
Big sum that time, and I didn't negotiate anything. In fact, I forgot to ask him that how much you're going to pay me.
Yeah, just the sound of it was exciting.
Yeah.
True. True. Okay. One thing left to do.
So I make models. So by this thing. So my one thing is which is sorry. So model boards which I make.
You carve them?
Carve
or-
them, yeah.
Oh,
Okay. So which is the one which has been pending from last more than 30 years now. Okay.
Okay. So you actually, with the chisel and the hammer, you carve
Yes.
boats
Yeah.
out. Okay. Interesting.
So I started in my college, and then once the career started, which is still
Right.
left in, yeah, I keep on putting some amount of work to it, but not yet finished.
Right. Well, we wish you that you do it very soon. Right. One love.
With family,
Okay.
being with family rather.
Being with family. If not being in this profession, in the IT industry, what would you have been?
A mechanical engineer.
Mechanical engineer. Okay. Like you mentioned earlier, options were limited.
There were no options,
so
right?
you would
So
be-
these things, and my surname talks about everything.
Absolutely, mystery. So the master of trades. True. Okay, the next section, you have to. I'll give you two options, and you select one option from them.
Okay.
Right. Twitter or Instagram? What do you prefer?
None of them. I'm not on. I have no accounts on them.
Okay. All right. LinkedIn or Facebook?
LinkedIn,
Okay. Cricket or football?
cricket,
Okay. Physics, chemistry.
physics,
Okay. Movies or music?
movies,
Okay. Weights or cardio?
cardio,
Cardio. Books or Kindle?
books,
Okay. Early mornings or late nighters?
late nighters,
Okay. All right. iOS or Android?
Android,
Okay. Formals or casuals?
casuals.
You'd prefer that. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. And Sameer, now we'd like to know you as a person, at different stages of your life, how you were as an individual. So, when you were 18 years old, what were you like as a person?
Compared to today's kid, I was like a headless chicken.
Okay.
Don't know what I'm going to do,
Okay.
but yes, the person knew that what I'm going to do is going to put in my heart into it,
Right.
and with the very hardworking and always looking up to the next level, what's going to be.
Okay.
Okay. So back then we didn't have a lot of options.
Right.
A lot of informations were not available.
Right.
So I used to read books,
Hmm.
any books.
Interesting.
Maybe it's any of the subject,
Right. Right.
whatever come across.
So you were ambitious right from then.
Yeah.
Okay. And by the time Sameer got to 25, how was he like?
By then, at that age, I was married and on the way to become a father.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
Okay. But yes, lot of ambitious to do things, in the career. A lot of dreams to achieve.
Right.
Okay. And definitely work towards it, balancing the family, balancing the career, balancing your requirement, your ambitions.
Right. True. So a lot of that
Yes.
happening at that time. And by the time you touched 30, what were you like?
When I touched 30, yes, on the personal front, quite a few things were like stable, but yes, in the career front, it was a lot of options which are coming up, a lot of new directions which are coming in.
Right.
Difficult to choose from where you are heading for.
True.
Okay. So as a career wise, if you ask me, a lot of options was there.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So you had a lot of options, and so what you're saying is you were still trying to figure out what you
Figure out,
want from your career. Okay. I think now it's a pretty set thing for you.
Yes.
You're pretty much in the space that you wanted to be in
Yeah.
by then. So it's taken you all these years, to get where you are. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sharing about this. And that is Sameer Mistry for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.